friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to do my first Project Pan finale and also show you my next round of Project 10 pan items. This project, it felt really slow going at first. Like at my first update, I was a little bit discouraged, but a lot of you guys told me like, you know, you might not make a lot of strides now, but the products will get used up really fast. Like you've made good strides. And I was like, all right, okay, great. And then boom, I whipped through products and I didn't expect to have a finale this soon, but I'm very excited to share with you guys where I'm at. First thing I have is my Wet n Wild primer, completely used up. Last time I saw you guys, I was right here and then I got antsy, as I always do, and I squeezed all of the product out into like a little tiny pot, and I was able to get through it really fast. This was a really decent primer for like, I think $5 or something. I enjoyed it. I have pretty normal skin. It didn't do anything to like hurt my skin or harm it in any way or cause any kind of breakouts, but it also kept my makeup in place. So definitely not something I wouldn't consider buying again. It was pretty good. The next item that we have is my Gel Mist Too Cool for School setting spray. I had a really small amount left in here and within like a week it was gone. I'm definitely missing this stuff, but I'm determined to not buy anymore until I finish my other, I think like 2 or 3 setting sprays that I have. I'm really hoping that by Christmas I have those done. I'd like to say it'll be done before then, but bare minimum, I want to ask for this for Christmas for next year, so hopefully I don't have anything else in my collection but this. I also used up the other samples that I had left. I used the Burberry Fresh Glow, and then I used the Hourglass Mineral Primer. Neither one of these I really enjoyed. They seem to be designed more for somebody who had drier skin, which is not my category, so they created too much of a dewy effect that I wasn't a fan of. I also have the Urban Decay Sin Eyeshadow Primer. This is fine. It's not my favorite of the primers just because it's so potent. It seems to be more like a color tattoo, which I don't want an all over primer for my lid to be such a strong color, but I used a sample. It's a very nice eyeshadow primer. So if you're looking for a color-based one, I would definitely recommend this. The next item that I've used up is the e.l.f. Concealer. This is literally all I have left, and when I put it on my eye, so much of it is like being hit by the metal packaging that it's just not worth it. I really did like this, but I have to say, I didn't even realize I had 2 little pots of NYX concealer from my NYX prize pack. I have it in like light and like maybe fair or ivory. They are different in their NYX line, and they're just like this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and use those up first, but I definitely don't hate this. I think for $3, you're getting a 3-month use out of it. $1 per month really isn't that terrible. I know I was kind of hard on it at first, but I really did enjoy it, and I think it's a really pretty decent $3 concealer. The next item that I've used up, I am so shocked by it. When I finished it up, I was like, oh, wait, there's no more? I wasn't ready for it. Like I didn't know it was coming. It was such a surreal feeling. It is the Chella Lace Highlighter Pencil. I went to sharpen it and there's nothing left. And it was like the worst time for that to happen because I literally had done one eye and I was like, oh God, it's really hard for me to put this on. Let me sharpen it real fast. And then there was no more. And I thought to myself, how am I have one like eye that pops and one eye that doesn't. What am I gonna do? So I had to dig through my pencils really fast and I found my NYX Wonder Pencil, which I had bought the same time I got this one. And it has just sat in my collection and it's just as good as this. And I'm pretty sure this stuff is like, I think $18 or $20 and the NYX pencil is like $5. So I probably would stick with that. But guys, we've come a long way with this pencil and I just can't believe it's finally going to be put to rest. But big accomplishment, very proud of myself. It's one of the first pencils that I have used consistently from start to finish, and it took a long time. The last thing I have, which I didn't finish, so I'm gonna roll it in as my first product to use in this next Project 10 pan, and that is the Dermablend Setting Powder. There is not much of this stuff left. I don't know if you'll be able to see inside. You can kind of see like, there's a lot of buildup on one side, but there isn't much else in here. I feel like hopefully by the first update, this will be gone. I have to say, I've been a bit more heavy-handed with it on my under eyes. And it seems like that's helping to stop the creasing. So I don't know, I think part of me was using more just because I wanted to get it used up, but I'm starting to see the benefits of packing on almost like I'm baking, but not that intense. But it's just putting on like a pretty decent amount, and that seems to really soak up any excess product and keep it from seeping into my fine lines. So I'm starting to like it more now that I'm using more of it, but I still think the e.l.f. Under Eye Setting Powder is superior. All right, now for the other 9 products that I'm adding to my second Project 10 pan for this year. The first I have is a color tattoo. These feel like a staple, but without meaning to, I all of a sudden noticed that I have pretty big pan happening here. So I just figured I may as well throw it in and move it out of my collection. And that is this one. It looks like this right now. I drew a line on the bottom to see, we can kind of track it that way. This is in the shade Rose Riot, which I think was limited edition. This is like a toned back version of Inked in Pink. I really like this. I can definitely layer it, which I think is why I've used so much of it up, but it seems to really, you can kind of see it here. It's not like a super intense color, but it just really helps the color I put on top of it pop, which I like a lot. So I'm throwing this in here. Hopefully I can use it up pretty fast and move it out. I'm pretty good at doing color tattoos. I wish I was as good at doing eyeshadows as I am color tattoos, but alas. Next thing I have is a setting spray. This is the Wet n Wild All Day Wear Photo Focus Spray. There's only 1.52 ounces in here, and this is where I'm starting. When I hold it up to the light, it's kind of where I can see the liquid sloshing around. This is nice, but it has what I think is a really strong alcohol scent when you first spray it, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's working. I want to move on. I think after this, I only have 2 more setting sprays, the L'Oreal one and the e.l.f. one to use. So quicker I move on, quicker I can get the Too Cool for School back in my life. Next up, I have a bronzer. This is the bronzing powder from the Body Shop in Light Matte. It's a honeycomb bronzer. I've had this for forever. I go through phases where I love this and then I don't love this. And right now I'm back on the train of liking it, but I don't know how I still have not hit pan on this. I feel like when you see it, like you can see the pan there. You can see the crevices of those circles that mean pan is coming your way. Yet every time I use this, I don't seem to make any progress. This is probably one of the older bronzers that I have in my collection, which is why I want to use it. But I think that it, quite honestly, will take me an incredibly long time to use this up, which is kind of infuriating. But on the flip side, silver lining here, it was $20, which is kind of pricey in my opinion for a bronzer, and it has lasted and lasted. So if you're looking for a matte bronzer that really isn't super intense, like it doesn't look like much on my finger swatch here, but it makes a difference on my pale little flesh. This is a really good value because it will just last a really long time, but I'm ready to move on to bigger and better things than the honeycomb bronzer. Next up, I have a primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is oil-free, not my favorite formula, but I went through my makeup collection at the start of 2016, which I don't know why I didn't film this. If you guys want me to film this, let me know down below in the comments. But I pulled out a bunch of stuff that I quite honestly want to use up in this year, and I have like maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7 samples of this size, plus another like 1 ounce, I think it's the Too Faced one, that I really want to use up. This is lasting me a lot longer than I thought it would, which is why I thought I would throw it in the project. It's 0.25 ounces, which is half of what they sell the travel size one for. So there's a lot of product in here, and you don't need a lot of it. Like I use maybe like 1.5 pea sizes of product here, and it covers my whole face and like then some. So I don't know how long this will take me, but I want to use it up and move on to the other kind of smaller samples that I have that are kind of plaguing me this year. Additionally, I've got my Wet n Wild Fergie Take on the Day eyeshadow primer. I like this stuff. I really do. And I figured I would just go ahead and use it up in this project because I've already been using it on a pretty regular basis. We're basically dating essentially. I'm pretty sure I'm down to like this line right here. It's hard for me to tell because I feel like there's product up here when I push it down, but the packaging won't stay completely flat. It reminds me a lot of the Shadow Insurance from Too Faced packaging, which I also found was hard for me to get a good read on what was left in there because the product is constantly moving around. But this stuff, I don't think they make it anymore because I was on the website and the Fergie line wasn't on there. So correct me if I'm wrong, but if you can find this stuff, it really kind of acts like glue. It kind of has like an Elmer's glue texture, which sounds really weird, but it's great because I noticed that the shadow I put on just like sucks right onto it and it just creates a really nice hold, and I'm a big fan of this, so I definitely will miss it if it has been discontinued, but I just want to go ahead and move on to other things. The next item that I have is the NYX Wonder Pencil. I don't know what it is, but I just like using pencil liners in these project pans, but I never like using black eyeliners. So I thought I would throw this in. I'm actually just really curious to see how long it takes me to use this up. The Cella highlighter pencil was a lot wider in circumference, so I wasn't sharpening it as much. And I think with this being much thinner, I think that one, I'll have more control with getting it on my waterline and less like hitting my lashes or hitting like underneath my eye, which occasionally would happen with the Cella one. But I'm also curious to see if I move through it quicker because it's thinner. At first, I wasn't happy with this because I hadn't used it in a long time, and I think it was maybe a little bit hardened because as soon as I sharpened it, it became a lot creamier and easier to put in my waterline. I will grab a piece of paper and I will mark how high this is so that we can track my progress that way, but thought I would throw this one in here for funsies. I also have my e.l.f. Intense Ink eyeliner. I really need to start moving through some of my felt tip liquid eyeliners. I've got a lot. Like I was looking at my collection and I was like, dang, I got a lot of these all of a sudden. I don't know how that happened. And I swear, I didn't think this one would still be holding on strong. I'm using it for maybe 2 or 3 months. It's a really like dark line still, and it's so easy. I know those people will say like, oh, that's so big, I can't handle it. I find that it's super easy to use because I can just go boop and it's done. No fussing, nothing like that. And my line, I don't think the line of eyeliner that I use is that thick. You might feel differently than me, but for somebody who has hooded eyes, I still think that I get a thin enough line that you can still see my lid shadow. You can't really see my crease shadow as much, but you can still see my lid shadow when my eyes are open, which to me is kind of how I determine if my eyeliner is too thick or not. The next product I have is my Clinique Chubby Stick Hefty Highlighter. This is very bulky packaging for, ready for it, this much product. And it's really cumbersome in my makeup drawer, so I want to use it up just for that reason because it's not very much product, and it's also just taking up a lot of space, unnecessary space. This is a nice highlighter. I have it on my face today. It's very natural. I don't know if I need to like warm it up on my palm first, but I get nervous that it's going to like move my foundation when I put it on my face because it doesn't seem super creamy. The last product that I have is a lip product. I have a lot of lip products lately, and I think the only way I can really start to focus on them is if I start small with things like sample lip glosses. This is the Ulta lip gloss in number 17 Illusion. I actually really like this, but I think it's starting to get a little old. It kind of has like a little hint of a plastic smell, but I also can't tell if that's because there's no other added fragrance in here. Like there's no scent to this aside from that, but once it's on my lips, I don't taste it, I don't smell it. I took the stopper out and you can see that there's still like quite a bit of product in here. The one like qualm I have with taking out the stoppers is that look at this gunky, like globby lip gloss brush, which makes it really hard. But the other struggle is if I don't take the stopper out, I can't get very much lip gloss on the actual doe foot applicator. So the struggle continues. I will find a way, but I will end up using all of this and then I'll just move on to other things. This is not a lip gloss that I carry with me. As soon as I take the stoppers out of lip glosses, they no longer become purse friendly. I've had a couple of bad experiences. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this on my vanity and just put it on in the morning and use it that way. It definitely will prolong the life of this. I may end up bringing it to school and leaving it at my desk at school to help me use it up. I don't know, we'll see. But this is the final product that I'd like to use up. Again, I'll leave the Google Doc that I'm using down below to keep track of stuff so that you guys can see the value of each of these products and the total of how much I'm using money-wise in here. Already I've used close to $100 in my first Project 10 pan, which is really awesome to see. And I feel like I'm gonna feel very rewarded at the end of 2016 once I kind of add up how much money-wise I have used. I think it'll be just very like satisfactory and enjoyable, and it'll also be really cool. I've never kept track of this before, so I'm just looking forward to it. But that's it for me, guys. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.